Hey, my Liptons. So I wanted to come in here. Listen, I'm gonna be doing a Kendrick Lamar, and this is gonna be really quick. I don't want to be here too long. It's just me, sort of just like proclaiming, and it might be my opinion or whatever, but I'm just gonna put it out there. To me personally, as of right now, hell, maybe even going into 2025, Kendrick Lamar is the king of hip hop. We just the current king of hip hop. We just gonna have to admit that. We're just gonna have to tell the truth. At this point, it's not an opinion; it's the truth. I personally feel that Kendrick Lamar has single-handedly carried the hip hop genre, literally since throughout the beginning of 2024, going into now the end of 2024. Okay, we obviously had some. We obviously have some honorable mentions, of course, with male and female rappers. When it comes to them dropping their projects like Doechii, Megan Thee Stallion. I'm not including J. Cole in that. That's some quick shade for J. Cole. You know what? I'm also gonna include Drake. Okay, even though y'all know how I feel about Drake now, but I'm gonna give Drake an E for effort. Those are the honorable mentions. But oh, Glorilla too is another one. But if I'm good for me, who I think is the current GOAT, who I think is the current king of hip hop, to me personally, bar none, is Kendrick Lamar. I think that is Kendrick Lamar is gonna go down to me personally in history as one of the greatest hip hop artists of all time. I think that he needs to be in a top 10 as far as like greatest rappers, just giving us all kinds of creative, one of the greatest rap performers on top of that, as far as like with visuals, creativity, all that stuff. So I just want to get that out there, give him his flowers when it comes to that, because I think that, we are living in times where, hip hop right now, outside of like the main heads, we have drill music now, we have the mumble rapping now. So it's like we have very fast music, something that is not going to be, lasting for decades. And I think that we do have to appreciate people like Kendrick Lamar, who is, I guess you could say, came from that old guard of music where it's like music has to be sustainable and enjoyable, and where it's like that you're going to be listening to this for years to come. So I just want to say that. So listen, as time goes on, right? At first, I was like, okay, this is the album. But I went to go listen to the songs for a second time, right? The GNX album, or honestly, at this point, a part of me does feel like this is a mixtape. I'm not gonna lie, I do. I'm now, as time goes on and I'm hearing all the commentary, I personally feel like this album, this GNX work of art, is a mixtape. I don't think it's an album per se, just because like some of these songs like Luther, Squabble Up, you know, a Dodger Blue, like these are like 2 minute songs. Like Kendrick Lamar is not that kind of a cat where it's like, and he's from the old guard, so he's not gonna give you like a 2 minute song like that unless it's a freaking mixtape. For me personally, like so far, like, and while yes, as other artists and with the music industry now, artists are putting out more shorter songs, which is unfortunate, but I just don't think that Kendrick Lamar will be giving us less than 3 minute songs. If honestly, this, to me, I just think that it is a mixtape. I think it's a mixtape. So Kendrick released 2 days ago. I'm gonna call it a mixtape. I know people are saying this. I'm gonna call it a mixtape. So he released his mixtape 2 days ago, and at first I was just like, okay, Kendrick, I see you didn't do no promo, no promotion, no nothing like that. But then again, it's expected because he hasn't really promoted a lot of his work. Really, honestly, even Mr. Morale, I don't even think he promoted that album. So Kendrick has been on his like, listen, I'm on my Beyonce. I'm gonna just drop and stay home. Like y'all, stream and buy the music after that. I'm not doing no interviews. I'm not doing nothing. So, so he released, and of course, when when you go on social media, when you go on Twitter, everybody's going crazy. mustard, still now, mustard is still trending. Okay. That someone said that Kendrick Lamar was like having like a whole mental breakdown, a psychiatric break while he recorded TV off. And that was a cackle. If anything, it happened throughout the whole album. I felt like I was experiencing Kendrick during his schizophrenic phases. And then you had his like, okay, very like, when it comes to like the Heart Part 6 and him, being very vulnerable in the song like that. So, we're going through a lot of phases with Kendrick Lamar on this album. So just right off the bat, I just want to give as far as like my top three songs off the album. So obviously TV off, of course, and I'm not just saying that because it's also like what's been trending and what's and so forth, but and it's not in order. So definitely TV off, whacked out murals, hey now, and I'm gonna put Squabble Up as an honorable mention. Okay, so those are my top three with the honorable mention of Squabble Up. To me, I think that you know, those I like Kendrick upbeat. Like I do appreciate his like more like slower like okay, just not melancholy kind of vibe, but I'm just like a upbeat person, and it's like those are kind of songs that I like. So that's why for me, those are the songs that I personally picked. Now, of course, now y'all know Kendrick set the bar. Kendrick set the bar now. There is no more throwing subs in hip hop. No more sub throwing, no more throwing shade. Call these hoes out by name. Okay? So, and he did that in Whacked Out Murals. Not calling out, but like he was pointing out, he name dropped Snoop Dogg, he name dropped Lil Wayne, and Lil Wayne, I don't even know. I'm gonna touch on his stupid ass response, Wayne's stupid ass response, and also he threw a little bit of shade at Andrew Schultz in that in this song. He didn't call Andrew Schultz by name, but he was in Whacked Out Murals. He was saying that like Snoop Dogg reposted that like tailor made freestyle that Drake did against Kendrick, and he was like, okay, like Snoop, I'm gonna let you slide because you're one of our legends and stuff. Maybe it was the edibles. Maybe you were high, and then Snoop Dogg being cheeky was just like, yeah, it was the edibles. He tweeted out something. He was like, yeah, it was the edibles. Great album, Kendrick, whatever. And then also on the same song, he kind of, I don't, this is why with Wayne, like, I'm sorry, y'all, like, I'm just not, Young Money, you folks over there, Young Money, Cash Money, I don't know what kind of style y'all have been on this year. 2024 was not Young Money's year. Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, Drake, like, I don't know what's going on over there, but y'all need to go back to the drawing board because, to me, I can understand why. Not understand, no, I don't understand because I felt like it was just a bunch of crybabying that was been happening. So on the Son of Whacked Out Murals, Kendrick was just like, listen, like Wayne, like you're actually one of my favorite artists. Like I was vibing out to the Carter 3. Like I loved you, and the only person that congratulated me on getting the Super Bowl was Nas. And you were out here complaining, crying, whining, shitting the bed that like you didn't get the Super Bowl. Like that was very disappointing. So then Wayne is gonna go tweet. I'm not even gonna pull up the tweet. Wayne was gonna go tweet something, just trying to be tough and shit. And it's just like, listen, Wayne, you're way too drugged out. You're way too laced out for you to be threatening anybody, okay? If somebody would just poke you right then and there, you would turn into dust. Sit your ass down or get into the studio and give us some bars. Okay, I don't know what the hell you talking about threat. And that's the thing. It's like Wayne is also from the old guard. It's like if you felt offended, get into the studio and give us some bars. Why are you tweeting? I guess trigger fingers really turned into Twitter fingers, huh? Yeah, whatever. Either way, I'm glad that Kendrick Lamar got that Super Bowl. If y'all are still out here talking about, so Wayne should have got it, please shut up. Wayne, 2024 is not the Wayne 10, hell, even 20 years ago. Okay, go watch his newer performances recently, and y'all see what I'm talking about. Now, I also want to point out, I'm happy that Kendrick also put a lot of these West Coast rappers onto, and this is why I feel like, no shade, but this is why I feel like too there's a mixtape and not the actual album, because y'all know Kendrick is gonna put like more well-renowned, more well-known artists on an album, like that's just how he is. He's not, I don't know, he doesn't give charity, that's all I'm trying to say. But but I am glad he did this too, because just to also prove the haters wrong when it comes to, because I know there was people that were saying like, oh my god, like he's bringing all these West Coast rappers out to the pop out concert that he did on Juneteenth. Is he ever going to work with them? Is he ever going to put them on the album? Is he ever going to give them a bag? And it's like, okay, well, now he put them on the album. He put these West Coast rappers on the album. Not only that, these rappers is their biggest streaming that they've ever had in their careers. And on top of that, they got a bag. So it's like, now y'all can shut the hell up. And I'm not going to lie to y'all. While Kendrick is the reason why I'm now fully back on like the whole hip hop bandwagon, because I felt like as the years went on, I was just not excited by hip hop anymore. I just felt like a lot of the music that was coming out of hip hop was whack. It was corny. It just wasn't engaging anymore. And I think that while I do appreciate, especially while I thoroughly enjoyed this beef between him and Drake and everything that happened earlier this year, it also sucks too, I think. And of course Kendrick won that beef hands down. Everybody, you're not like, it's just, even the Drake fans who hate Kendrick will tell you, yeah, Kendrick won that beef. But I also think it also sucks on Kendrick's end too with this whole beef thing, because now people are gonna be like, oh well, y'all are only paying attention to Kendrick because of Drake, or y'all are only, well, Kendrick only put these artists on there because people were criticizing him were nitpicking over the whole pop out thing and that sort of thing. So it's like people who I guess were probably familiar with Kendrick but not as invested into his music, now they're gonna be like, oh well, Kendrick is now being talked about so much because of the whole situation with Drake. And it's like, y'all, like I knew about Kendrick Lamar. Like, come on, Kendrick Lamar has been around since I was like in freaking high school. Okay, like he's been around since like freaking, like, hell, around the same time as Drake, as all these other artists. So it's just like, I hate that. Even though yes, like he won the beef, the beef was very entertaining. It was a good, it was fun for hip hop, but at the same time, it's like, I hate the whole discrediting thing with Kendrick, because Kendrick has put out great work. To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, just Good Kid, Massive. Like, it's just many projects, and he's been very successful, and he's been very successful without Drake, especially prior to this beef. So yeah, I that's the only thing that I do think that is the downside with this beef on Kendrick's end, because now it's like Kendrick does not only, of course there have been other demographics that have looked at Kendrick, but it seems like now more so than ever, the mainstream gaze is solely on Kendrick right now, because Drake is seen as like the bitter Betty, and Kendrick is seen as like he reigns supreme. So people are looking at him as that guy. That's why I'm saying that he's the king of hip hop right now. That's what I'm saying. That previously it was Drake, and I have to give Drake his credit. He was the king of hip hop. Drake was, but now that crown has went to Kendrick. Kendrick has the Iron Throne. And speaking of, and this is why I also say again that he's the king of hip hop. And now I usually don't like to talk the numbers stuff, because I feel like it takes away from us really thoroughly enjoying the music. But Kendrick is about to go number one again. Before, literally, he became number one earlier this year with Like That, and then Not Like Us. And now the year is literally about to end, and he's about to go number one again. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm actually surprised it wasn't TV Off that went number one, because I feel like that's the one that's been going viral all over social media. I actually think TV Off is gonna be number two on Billboard Hot 100. Maybe, who knows? It might actually overthrow Squabble Up. So, and Squabble Up is also a good song, but I'm just saying. But yeah, like people they're feeling Kendrick. They look while do Kendrick does have a lot of enemies out here. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, because the Drake fans, the DJ academics of the world, these male podcasters, they're not really feeling Kendrick because they feel like he took down their favorite pop star, Drake. So right now Kendrick has a lot of like industry folks that don't like him, but for him to still be out here and saying like fuck the industry, I can do this on my own and I'm going to persevere and I'm going to make sure that I come out here being genuine as fuck, and knowing that this industry is not a friendship thing. Fuck all the friendship stuff and all the like fuck f that, and leading with that, people the people society will look at you and respect you more for being honest compared to Drake. Kendrick is more honest about his competitiveness. He's more honest about him wanting to be number one compared to all these other rappers. So, Kendrick is gonna go number one again before the end of this year, which is great for him. And also the fact, he did no promo, did no interviews, nothing like that. That's amazing. And also people can't say like, okay, well, this is off the backs of the, no, he did, they're literally not like us, and a lot of people actually thought that he was going to put those songs on the album. They thought that he was going to put, and this is why I also think this is a mixtape, but they thought that he was going to put those songs on the album or whatever, but he didn't even do that. So, it's going to be it's great that he is going, reigning supreme, still reigning supreme, still reigning supreme. He has the Iron Throne. So, also, I will say this though. It is interesting too, because I was just listening to Luther, and someone said this. They're like, SZA, I don't know how SZA's able to do it, but like, because she also worked with Drake too. And who knows, Drake might end up cutting her off. Because, right now Drake is very salty against anybody that is, fooling with Kendrick or, went to Kendrick's pop-out concert, whatever. So he's been on that. So, she's also on the song Luther. I thought Luther was cool. He has a good relationship with SZA. Like I said, I think this person for me is a mixtape. I think so, allegedly. Let me just say that. I don't think it's an album, only because of like the 2-minute songs, because he had all those West Coast rappers, so forth and so forth. But it is also a great mixtape. It has so many upbeat songs that you can bounce to. I will say this, so it is the holiday time, so it's like, are we really about to be out? I mean, but then again, we are in the climate change era, so it's like it'd be cold one time and it'd be hot another time. So it's like, yeah, we might have to bump this in the car. We're gonna have to bump, squabble up. Hey now, TV off. We're gonna have to bump that in the car, okay? So it's gonna be a vibe. So, but Kendrick, to me, and I feel like someone said that J. Cole also dropped something. And it's like, the fact that I didn't even know that's how you know. But I'm going to just say this. To me personally, I agree. Oh yeah, he did drop something. Oh no, this is an old album. The Warm Up with J. Cole. Okay, well, listen. Let me just say this. I think that, obviously, the beef and everything like that. I think that we genuinely need to stop with this whole big three conversation. I think there is no more big three. I think that has ended. As far as like in a mainstream conversation, like I think people can have their own little individual list about who they think is like top 5, top 3, blah blah blah. But I think the big three thing is dead now. Kendrick is the king of hip hop. Okay. Period. Point blank. I don't care who. I don't care. Y'all don't think he is the king of hip hop. Number says he is the king of hip hop. I think that J. Cole can no longer be in this conversation as far as like when it comes to anything in top. But then again, he's a good. Yes, people going, well, no, you can't discredit him, blah blah. But like J. Cole, the way he's moved, and then that Port Antonio thing, it's just, and this is why I think there's another reason why I feel like it's a mixtape. The fact that he didn't address J. Cole on the whole Port Antonio thing and talking about some bots, all you using bots, bullshit. The whole Big Sean thing, Big Sean, kind of not understanding his relationship with Big Sean. And now on top of that, Wayne's dumbass tweet. I think that the album's coming out next year. And honestly, if he drops that thing around Super Bowl time, Kendrick Lamar is gonna have like a great 2 years. 2024 was a great year for him. 2025 is gonna be a great year for him. I think he's gonna win Grammys. Next year, Super Bowl, album. It's just gonna be a great year for Kendrick, and I can't wait to see it. I think that Kendrick Lamar is he is the certified boogeyman. Nobody ain't touching it. Like, people can be mad about it right now. Kendrick took down y'all's favorite pop star. Okay? He took down y'all's favorite pop star. To me, Kendrick is the certified boogeyman. Okay? He is the king. He is the certified boogeyman that's sitting on the Iron Throne. I know you girls hate to hear it, hate to see it, but it's here. So I can't wait to see what happens in 2025. It's going to be so exciting. And I can't wait for his Super Bowl performance. It's like, I can't wait. And I know the industry is sick. I know the hip hop heads are sick that Kendrick is number one, but he is number one. So that's all I have to say on that. Y'all guys tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. And also, let me just say this. For the people that's going to come here for my hip hop news, just FYI, I don't do hip hop news a lot. I don't do hip hop news that much. I would say like Kendrick has piqued my interest back into the hip hop genre. It's just like the past few years, hip hop has just not been the thing for me anymore. But Kendrick has brought my interest back to it. So I don't know how much I'll be doing videos on it unless something big happens mainstream wise. But if there's any little petty stuff like tweets, I'm not gonna be, I'm just saying. But if y'all want to stay for my pop culture news and all my my TV movie reviews, anything like that, stay subscribed to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get up to 1,000 subscribers. The goal is to get up to 1,000. Let's continue to build a brand. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.